Have you ever felt like your life took a turn you never expected? Like you were promised one thing, but ended up with something completely different? Today, we're diving into a story from ancient times that feels surprisingly modern. It's a tale of love, deception, and finding purpose in the most unexpected places. This is the story of Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. Our story begins with Jacob, a man on the run. Fleeing from his brother Esau's anger, he travels to the land of his mother's relatives in Haran. After a long and dusty journey, he arrives at a well, a common gathering place. There he sees a group of shepherds with their flocks, just waiting. He asks them, "My brothers, where are you from?" They reply that they're from Haran and that they know his uncle Laban. Just then Jacob asks about a beautiful shepherdess approaching with her flock. Her name is Rachel, Laban's younger daughter. The moment Jacob sees Rachel, it's like the world stops. He's completely captivated by her beauty and grace. Overcome with emotion, he single-handedly rolls the heavy stone from the well's mouth, a task that usually required several men, and waters her father's sheep. It's a grand romantic gesture. When he reveals he's her cousin, the son of her Aunt Rebecca, the reunion is joyful and emotional. Rachel runs to tell her father Laban, who welcomes Jacob into his home with open arms. Jacob stays with Laban, working for him for a month. But he's not just working for room and board. He's working for love. He has fallen deeply for Rachel. Laban, seeing how valuable Jacob is, offers to pay him. Jacob makes his own offer, one straight from the heart. He declares he will work for Laban for 7 years in exchange for Rachel's hand in marriage. To Jacob, who is so in love, those 7 years feel like just a few days. He works tirelessly, his heart set on the day he can finally marry the woman of his dreams. Finally, the 7 years are over. The wedding day arrives. A grand feast is prepared, and the celebration goes late into the night. Jacob, filled with anticipation, awaits his bride. But Laban has a plan, a deception that will change everything. Under the cover of darkness and the wedding veil, he brings his older daughter, Leah, to Jacob instead of Rachel. In the dim light and amidst the festivities, Jacob doesn't realize the switch. Imagine the shock and betrayal Jacob feels the next morning when he wakes up and sees Leah, not Rachel, beside him. He is furious. He confronts Laban, his voice shaking with anger, demanding to know why he was deceived after serving so faithfully for 7 long years. Laban calmly explains that in their culture, it's not customary to marry off the younger daughter before the older one. It was a cultural rule he conveniently forgot to mention. But Laban, ever the shrewd negotiator, sees another opportunity. He offers Jacob a deal. Finish the week-long wedding celebration with Leah, and then he can also marry Rachel. The catch? Jacob must work for him for another 7 years. Think about Jacob's position. He's trapped. His love for Rachel is so strong that he agrees. So just 1 week after marrying Leah, he also marries Rachel, binding himself to another 7 years of labor. Now picture this household. 2 sisters, married to the same man. A recipe for rivalry and heartache. Jacob's heart belongs completely to Rachel. He loves her passionately, while Leah is simply the wife he was tricked into marrying. He makes no secret of his preference, and Leah feels it deeply. She is unloved, overlooked, and heartbroken. But here the story takes another turn. God sees Leah's pain. He sees her loneliness and her silent tears. And while Rachel, the beloved wife, remains unable to have children, God blesses Leah. She gives birth to son after son. First comes Reuben, then Simeon, Levi, and Judah. With each birth, Leah hopes to finally win Jacob's love and affection. Each son's name reflects her deep yearning for her husband's heart. Yet Jacob's favoritism toward Rachel continues. Rachel, on the other hand, is consumed by jealousy. Her sister, the unloved wife, has children while she, the cherished one, has none. The one thing she desires most is a child, a son to give to her husband. Her envy grows so intense that it creates even more tension between the sisters. In her desperation, she gives her handmaiden, Bilhah, to Jacob, to bear children on her behalf, a common practice at the time. Bilhah has 2 sons, Dan and Naphtali. Not to be outdone, Leah, who had stopped having children, gives her own handmaiden, Zilpah, to Jacob. Zilpah gives birth to 2 more sons, Gad and Asher. The rivalry escalates into a contest of childbearing, with each sister trying to gain status and affection through the number of sons they can provide. It's a house filled with competition, jealousy, and deep emotional pain. Leah even goes on to have 2 more sons, Issachar and Zebulun, and a daughter, Dinah. Throughout all this turmoil, Rachel's prayers remain unanswered. Her heart aches for a child of her own. Finally, after years of waiting and watching her sister and their handmaidens have children, God remembers Rachel. He opens her womb, and she gives birth to a son. She names him Joseph. This moment is a turning point. For Rachel, it's the fulfillment of her deepest desire. For Jacob, the birth of a son from his beloved wife is a moment of immense joy. Through this long, complicated journey of deception, rivalry, and heartache, something bigger was at play. From Leah, the unloved wife, came Judah, the ancestor of King David, and, according to Christian tradition, Jesus himself. From Rachel's son, Joseph, came a great leader who would save his entire family and the nation of Egypt from famine. This story teaches us that even when human plans are messy and filled with mistakes and pain, there can be a greater purpose at work. God worked through Leah's sorrow and Rachel's longing to build a nation. He brought incredible blessings out of a situation that started with deception and was fueled by jealousy. It's a powerful reminder that our struggles and detours don't define our final destination. Sometimes the most difficult paths lead to the most beautiful outcomes. Thanks for joining me for this incredible story. If you found this inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that explore the depths of faith and human experience. See you next time.